Knowing or loving how to read books is one of the best skills you can have in your life because from reading books, you can gain a lot of knowledge that you can apply to change your life. If you look, you find out that most successful people are the people like to read books. My name is Magembe. Welcome to GWC. In today's episode, we'll be looking at five books that you can read to actually change your life. And the first book is The Sapiens. This book is written by Yuval Harari, and this is on the brief history of the Sapiens. And we are Homo sapiens, and this book takes us through from how we began, how we have gone through different developmental stages to get where we are right now. This book explains to us how we came to conquer the world, because you know that we are the dominant animal. We control everything in the world. We control our animals. We control the world, and the book tells us that this is good and this is bad. We have gone through different revolutions, like the agricultural revolution, and right now we are on the scientific revolution. And you can see that from these revolutions that we have gone through, we have changed this world, and we have actually changed the worst. That is why we are now experiencing things like global warming because of our activities. The human activities to the world is what has actually changed this thing. So this book tries to take us through to actually see how did we get here. How come that us as humans, we ended up being very smart? And it tells us that one of the main reasons where we ended up being this smart is because as humans, we got the skill of believing in myths, or the things that don't exist. And examples of this is gods, nations, money, companies. If you look at these things, you see that these things really don't exist, but we dearly believe in money. And money really doesn't exist, but we believe in money. So believing in these things that don't exist, we actually end up cooperating. We cooperate with the different tribes, with different people, different races, just based on one belief. So this is why we've been able to cooperate and get advanced this much. So if you haven't read this book, go read The Sapiens, the brief history of mankind. And if you have read the book, you can read it again, because every time you read a book, even second time, you always get something new. So the second book that we will recommend you to read that can change your life is The Alchemist. Alchemist talks about this boy called Santiago. He embarks his journey from Spain to go to the Egyptian pyramids to actually look for treasure. He had a dream, when he was taking care of his cattle in Spain, that there is a treasure somewhere in the pyramids of Egypt. So he embarks on this journey. On his way, of course, he meets different mentors, lava, and experiences different things on his way. But at the end of the day, by the time he gets to Egypt, he realizes that actually his treasure is back home, where he was taking care of his sheep, cows, and goats. So you can see that you can. This book teaches us that you can really go all the way, far lands, far cities, to look for treasures, or money, all of these things, and you have left these things back home. So you might need to look at your surrounding so that you can see which opportunities are there for you to take advantage of these opportunities so that you can change your life. So that is one of a very good book that we have read. So we recommend that you go ahead, you read the book, and you can gain a lot of knowledge from this book. The third book we recommend is Ikigai. This is the Japanese secret to long life and happier life. This book actually talks about that if you want to live a long life and you want to live a happier life, you're going to need to slow down a bit. Instead of rushing through life, you're going to need to slow down and have a meaning to your life. live for something. So one thing is that you need to eat health, you need to be doing exercises, and you need to find something that you love to do, and you do this without it tiring. You can do this at the age of 60, 70, 80. So this system whereby somebody goes to work and they have to retire at 60, and then they come to sit home, then that will not give you a long life, because what happens after 60? You don't have something to do, then you start getting depressed. So in your life, you need to have a plan so that you have something meaningful to work for in this life, and then you keep on working on that thing. You have to keep yourself busy. So this book says that if you structure your life in such a way that you have a plan, that you have something that you are doing, you slow down, you have a social life, and then you can be able to live a very long life. Because people in Japan, there are some people who live up to 120 years, over 100 years. There's a lot of people. But you find that in these societies where people are always rushing, going to work, trying to make money, and doing all these things, most people, they die from lifestyle diseases because they don't have time to slow down, take care of their health, or take care of their bodies and their mind. So this is one of the best books. Ikigai is one of the best books that we recommend that you read. You will change the way you look at life. You change your perspective, your attitude towards life. So go read the book. If you have read the book, read the book. But if you haven't, please take a copy and read the book. Another book that we recommend is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor around 161 AD. And if you read this book, you experience that what these people were experiencing back then, what the Romans were experiencing back then, these are the same challenges we're experiencing right now. So this book were actually private notes by Marcus. He was writing. He never meant this notes to be actually seen in the public. But of course, somehow these notes, we got them in the public, and now it's a book. And we are able to see what kind of life that Marcus was going through, what challenges, how was his mind, how was he thinking. This was a very powerful man. Imagine being an emperor of the Roman Empire back then. And, he had money, he had power and everything. And you can see the challenges that he went through. Even he talks about death, that you should not fear death. You should live the present. You should live for the present, not in the past or not in the future. Because, of course, if you live in the future, you develop anxiety. So you should be able to live in the present, and you should be able to see how your life goes through. So this is a very good book. We recommend that you read this book. You will change the way you look at life. Another book that we recommend is Man is Search for Meaning. This book written by Victor Frankl. Victor Frankl was actually one of the people who suffered during the Second World War. He was Jewish, and he was taken to a concentration camp, and that life was hell in a concentration camp during the Nazi regime, and Victor experienced this. So he gives us his experience that even in those dire situations like that, what he was experiencing in the concentration camp, he still had to find meaning. And this is where we even got that quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. I don't know whether you guys know Friedrich Nietzsche. He was a German philosopher. He said that so long as you have a why, if you have a why, you will always be able to survive in any situation. You will always be able to survive in any situation if you have a why to live for. So if you find meaning in your life, then even if the situation is really bad, you can be able to survive. You don't need to take your life, or you don't need to give up. He says that you can say, I'm living for this thing, and you have meaning. You can find meaning in any situation. So if you read this book, you can see the experiences that Victor went through in the concentration camp, and how he was able to overcome this situation, and he came out alive. And then, of course, he went on to teach people. Actually, even he came with a technique called logotherapy, which is a very famous technique for actually dealing with the mind. So this is one of the books that we recommend, that if you read this book, of course, you will change the way you look at life. Your attitude will change. So thank you again for taking your time to watch this video. Kindly go ahead and look at some of these books. You can actually get a copy, or you can even have an audio book as you drive to work. You can be reading this book. And of course, you want to change your life, you need to love reading books. This is very, very important. Thank you. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you have not, kindly subscribe to our channel. We'll see you another time.